What is the main reason the Jews don't believe in Yeshua?
Like Jesus said by himself, that the second coming will be when the fig tree will be ready. He says it means that the summer is close, but the summer in Hebrew kite from the word ketz, what it means the end of the day. Right, so when the fig tree will be ready, it means that everybody can talk and can receive Jesus. If the fig tree is not ready, the Jews cannot receive it. Why? Because it's like a fruit that is not ready to eat. And then a fruit like this has to be cursed, like the Jewish curse Jesus. Like he cursed the fig tree. Okay, because in the second coming, this has to do with the fig tree, what is the tree of knowledge, good and evil, and this has to do with opening the two eyes. The two eyes have to do with this world, that is everything in this world split to two. We have always two ways of understand the reality, two ways to judge the reality, good and evil. Evil not must to be evil in the sense we understand evil, but it's like a dialogue between two people, two opposite people, that one will say the body is more important, like Esau, and the other one will say the soul is more important, like Yaakov. Esau is right in this case. The body is more important because in the body hiding more godliness than in the soul. But the problem with the body is that this is exactly what make us do not see the godliness that is there. So more it's more godliness, more it's body, more it's ego. It's like God give a big piece of ego, so then this become a bad person because he have a big piece of the ego of God, so he think himself is God.
Higher concentration.
What is a bad guy? Somebody that thinks that he's God. He do whatever he wants. He have a good intellect, he new invention, he invent all kind of things, technology, etc. So this considered to be the bad guy. Why? Because God give him a big piece of himself. It's why he is a firstborn. Always a firstborn is a bad guy. But this is exactly where is the more important part of God hiding. It's why he's the firstborn from the first place. All right. So if somebody belong to the root of Esau or Cain, and he repent, his place where he stand in front of God is much more high of somebody that belong to the other guy, to the good guy, that is always imitate the bad guy. Like Cain do a sacrifice, so Hevel do a sacrifice too.
Imitate.
Imitate. He's not original. He's not the firstborn. It means he's not. You don't have original personality. Somebody that really take decision and invite new things, etc. Invent. All right. So each one of these two guys have his special quality. So this duality of these two different personality appear only after eating the tree of knowledge, good and evil. Above this, we have all the same faith. We are all the same. All right. So in the level of Jesus, in the first coming, we are all the same. All right. So it's very nice. All the baby are the same in many ways, but it's not really a rectification state of existence in this world. Rectified. The rectification is that you have different faces and different opinion. Everybody see, like we have different faces, we have different opinion, and it's good. It's the development of reality. Right? So it's important that we have different opinion, and after each one develop his opinion in a special place, in a special house, in a special culture. After he grew up, he can do marriage with other culture, with other way of seeing everything, like a male and female that they were separated, and now they meet again and they married. They are different. Right? We don't make a marriage between brother and sister. They have to each one to develop in completely a different place. Okay, so the separation, it's like the separation between the day and the night, the light and the darkness is important, the first day of creation. But after the separation is done, God, it's all one day. It was evening, it was morning, it's all one day. It's not the first day, it's one day, the way it is written. It means we do waiting between both of them. Okay, so all the separation is for a better connection that will come after this. Also, we have to find what is the evil in holiness. Ra in Hebrew, in Aramaic, right means below. Who says that below is bad? We used to think that what is below is bad, but who says so? God wants to live here in this world. The Ara, the land in Aramaic, Ara came from the word Ra, Ara.
The ground.
The ground. All right. So, who says that the holy land is bad in the sense of evil? All right. So, what is below? It's not must to be bad. It's just below. Just another kind of reality that is above.
Manifestation of the above.
It's just, yes.
In reality.
Okay, so after, if you add to Yeshua 2 Ein, in the second coming, it will come with the first Jesus as well that is above the Torah, but the new Jesus that is in the level of the fig tree have 2 Ein. 2 letter eins together equal te'ena, is a fig. So Jesus is a fig tree in the second coming.
The tree of knowledge.
It means there are 2 guys that represent Jesus in 2 different ways. This Yeshua with 2 eins, they become 2 personalities, like Yaakov and Esau coming out from Yitzchak. Right? So the redemption is when these 2 guys agree.
Personalities.
One that represents the liberal world, Esau, the science, the art, all the music, all the art, and the other one that represents the religion, the law of the Torah, etc. These 2 guys have to agree, and the coming of Mashiach, it's peace between these 2 brothers. All the Torah finished that did Moshe to the eyes of all Israel. All the Torah is to fix these 2 guys, these 2 brothers. The Torah starts with very bad with these 2 brothers, Cain and Hevel. But the Torah is the plant of the creation, so it must be a good interpretation for Cain killing Hevel. Cain have to kill Hevel. Like the priest, when he gets money is blood. It's like he killed all the people that give him money. Also that
the may is like dam. The may is money and dam is blood. It's the same word.
So you give your blood, you give donation to the priest. It's like a priest is a killer. Is Cain. He belongs to the root of Cain.
In a good way, killing in a good way.
Because
sacrifice.
He came instead of the firstborn, and the firstborn was always the bad guys. Right? The Levi came instead of the firstborn. So they are good killer. Right? So we have to give a good interpretation to everything that it is written in the Torah. So then it's not problem with any curse that is in the Torah. Then it's not problem with the snake. It's no problem with nobody. The way, if we understand it in a good interpretation, in the way that the tree of knowledge, good and evil, is really connected to the tree of life. If not, the fig tree is not ready to eat. If it's not connected to the tree of life, it's not ready to eat, because then a fig tree is just a fig tree. What is the tree of knowledge, good and evil? You do this, you go here, you go there. You know, there are all kind of story. But what are the life behind all this story? Why it's a fig tree? What it means Jesus when he said to Nathanael that I know you all before when you was under the fig tree. Who was under the fig tree? The snake. Still you are not a liar. You are the snake, you are the tribe of Dan. I mean the 12 disciple of Jesus parallel to the 12 disciple of Israel. Nathanael is the 6th one. In the 2 order of the 12th tribe, Dan is the 6th one. The order of birth, we start with Shimon. It means we start with the 2nd. In the order of birth, Shimon is the 2nd. After Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zvulun, Dan is the 6th one. In the order of flag, of the way they used to walk in the desert, Shimon is the 5th one. So now we start with Shimon. After Shimon we have Gad, after Ephraim, after Menashe, after Binyamin, after Dan. In the 2 order, Dan is the 6th one. So Nathanael is the 6th one in the order of the disciple of Jesus. So he's a snake. So he was under the fig tree. He was under the tree of knowledge, good and evil. And still you are not a liar. You are a real son of Israel that don't know what is a lie. Now we understand why he said this to one of his disciples. Why the other one are a liar? Nobody of his disciples probably are not liar. But why he will say this to Nathanael? Because he represents the tribe of Dan relatively in between his 12 disciples. Alright, so this is this example. What it means that you are connected to the tree of life. It means you understand the meaning, deep meaning that is behind the story. If not, what I care if it was a fig tree and if it was an orange tree or whatever, what tree that he cursed or and why I say when the fig tree will be ready, why the second coming have to do with the fig tree? Again, the fig tree, it's like a friend idea that is there all the time. Why does the fig tree have to do with the second coming? So if the fig tree is ready, we realize that everything that Jesus said about the second coming is exactly what the Judaism said about the second coming. That the second coming, they call it, it's the pan of the meeting between Yaakov and Esau. Esau, it's a code name for Christianity. This is a redemption. And what means this meeting between Yaakov and Esau? It means that we have the light of chaos from the side of Esau. What is Christianity? It's just light with no vessel, with very, very small vessel. It means we call it orot de Torah. In vessel of rectification, it means in vessel of Torah from the side of Yaakov. This is a redemption. This is what it is written. This was Rabbi used to say all the time. The Rabbi Melubavitch used to say that, please bring me orot de Torah bekelim de tikkun. Please bring me light of chaos in vessel of rectification. Nobody was smart enough to understand that the Rabbi asked, please bring me Christianity in vessel of Judaism. But this is what he asked. This is a redemption. Alright, so this is, in the moment we have this vessel of Torah, to talk about Jesus, we can talk about to the Jewish. The Jewish will receive it. If not, the Jewish will say, what kind of Mashiach you bring me? It's a baby with no clothing.
It was not the time yet.
It teach me to be a good person. For this I need Mashiach to teach me to be a good person. Why? Where is Mashiach? Why? He cannot be Caesar, so what? I don't need this Mashiach. Where is all the secrets of the Torah that Mashiach is supposed to reveal, to teach us? No, you are above the Torah. You are not under the end, like Paul said to the nation, you are not under the end of the Torah.
Hand.
You are not under the Torah. You are above the Torah. To be a good person, it's above the Torah. It's before. Before in Hebrew it means above. To be a good person, it can before. You teach a kid to be a good person. Before you teach him Torah, you teach him to be a good person. But after he grew up, he go to university and he teach all kind of other stuff, to be smart too. Alright, so the Jesus present, the Christian present to the Jew a Jesus that you can, all the Christianity to describe it in 3 phrases. Jesus, God gave his son, he sacrificed his son for the salvation of all the world. All you have to do is to receive Jesus, end of the story. It's all Christianity. So, where is the Torah? Where is
the substance?
Where all the detail,
the structure.
All the structure of coming of Mashiach is
Yeah.
nothing. It means that it looks that there's nothing there. So you know that in the book of Matthew, in Hebrew we call it Matai. What it means when?
Means when?
When in Hebrew.
When?
When. It means the book of time.
Timing.
Timing. It's a book of time. When. The book of Matthew, of Matthieu, have 28 chapters that parallel to the 28th time in the book of Kohelet. There are 28 times.
Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, I'm
It's
familiar
time.
with the Hebrew words.
It's time to give birth, the first time, parallel to Abraham give birth to Yitzchak, Yitzchak give birth to Yaakov, Yaakov give birth to Judah, etc. First chapter. After, it's time to die. Ordus kill all the children in Bethlehem. So it's parallel to the 28th time, 28th chapter. You know, for example, let's take chapter 17. In chapter 70, have to do with the 17 letters, the letter Pei. There are 28 letters if you add the months apart, and the Aleph, final Aleph as Elef, as 1,000. The final letter completes the Aleph Bet to 27, plus the Aleph that come back in the end that close all the Aleph Bet become 1,000, from 1 to 1,000. You know, the Taf is 400, the Chaf Sofit is 500, the Mem Sofit is 600, Nun Sofit 700, Pei Sofit is 800, Tzadik Sofit is 900. After 900 we have again the Aleph that is 1,000. And you can parallel to the 28K from David to Yeshua.
Yes.
Right? You can parallel the 28th time to the 28th king that appears there. Alright, so in the 17, in the end of this chapter, they need money to pay the Machatzit HaShekel. So Jesus sends them to open the fish mouth and to take they find a shkalim in his mouth. Alright, so it's a time to ask. Let's say that we ask $2 million, it's time to ask. Levakesh. Levakesh is the letter of Bet Shekel, 2 shkalim. 2 shkalim represent the amount of money we need for what we want to do. Right, so it's a time to ask. It's a time that you cannot ask yet, but it's a time to ask too. Alright, it's a time to ask for the redemption, it's a time to ask this money. 2 shekel represent $4 million. Never mind, it's another subject, 2 times $2 million. Alright, so Pei, the letter Pei, it means a mouth. Alright, so I just give you an example that they are parallel. One by one you can find always a parallel between this concept. And the 24th time and the 24th chapter is when they ask Jesus when will be the second coming. So now it's a time to talk. Now we can talk. If no, before this we cannot talk about Jesus. Now it's a time to talk. Why we can talk? Because it's We have Torah. It's something to talk about. If we don't have what to talk about, we cannot talk about, and Jesus, the Jewish will not receive Jesus because it's like to eat a fruit that is not ready to eat. So it's better.
Not right.
According to Jesus, a fruit like this that is not ready, a tree that have no fruit that is really ready, have to be cursed. So
Taboo.
So it's exactly what Jews do, but when the tree is ready, we don't have to, it's not mean that the curse is bad. The curse himself become all the secret of Mashiach hiding in this curse. That's why I call the book Yimach Shemo. His name will be
The
Erez.
curse is keeping the fruit that is ripe, right, Ariel?
I mean, when the fruit is ready, we find out that in the Torah really there are no curse.
But this is not in English now?
Not yet, no, we
It's
don't have
almost.
yet in English. The second book here is more short, and we're working on the translation. I hope that in maybe 6 months, I don't know, it will be ready, I don't know.
Okay.
6 months, 1 year, I don't know. Okay, so the curse, it's not the problem. The problem is how we understand, how we interpret the curse, because really there are no curse, there are no sins, there are no snakes, there are no devil the way we understand it. And there are no Jesus the way we understand it. So in the moment the Torah is really connected to the tree of life, it means it's a deep Torah, with the soul of the Torah in it. The curse don't exist. The curse is higher blessing. Okay?
Okay.
We are all the Son of God, and the Son of God cannot really sin. We only think we did a sin. There can be many interpretations to what it's meant to sin. But from the point of view of the first coming of Jesus, in this place this not exist. The sin is not possible there. It's not relevant.
It's above the Torah.
It's above the Torah, so like you cannot say about a baby that is sin. It's not relevant.
So Yeshu is connected to the Yechida. Yechida is above Chaya and Naran. You know, the light is the highest light, so never sin. So that's why.